This is the first episode of the Sensational MMA podcast. Might rebrand it later and make a separate channel, but for now we're going to be doing the episodes on here. This is my roommate.
My name's Preston. Known this guy since 2015
Oh, then,
ish.
yeah.
Used to bully him, became friends, and now we live together.
I think the bullying just made the bond stronger, honestly.
Made him tougher.
Yeah. We're roommates. We train at the same gym. We got pretty similar goals in mind. So, with that, I'm just going to say some of my goals for 2024. Today is the first day of the new year. I'm trying to win an amateur title this year, and I just really want to get my body in peak shape for competing at 125 because for a while I was fluctuating, fighting at 135, hoping for 125 matchups. Now I'm committed to it, and I can get my body lean and strong and always be ready to make weight. What are your goals?
Since transitioning from full-time bodybuilding to jiu-jitsu, trying to at least participate maybe 5 to 10 competitions this year. In our area, they have a ton of them. So if I can just participate in a few, try to win, yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, we're out in South Carolina, and once it gets to like springtime, summertime, they'll be having jiu-jitsu tournaments every other month minimum. So I'll be definitely trying to do some of those too. Speaking of you transitioning from bodybuilding to jiu-jitsu, there's that huge debate that's been going on for years with jiu-jitsu guys like saying, "Oh, the bodybuilders wouldn't come in here and try this," and so on and so forth. And I think at first they might have had a point where the bodybuilders may have had an ego, but as far as what I've seen lately, it's been more the jiu-jitsu guys almost having an ego about it. You know, the bodybuilding community, especially the last couple of years, it's kind of been a lot more welcoming and wholesome to people and stuff. What's your take on it?
No, it was definitely like that before, I think. Like 90s bodybuilding versus 90s jiu-jitsu. 90s bodybuilding was almost peak popularity, really big, boisterous, arrogant dudes pushing a giant personality to make a paycheck. There was way more money in bodybuilding in the 90s than there is now. Compare that to jiu-jitsu. The only way to make money was cage fighting, UFC,
Yeah.
which it's still not a lot of money. Flip flop to now, bodybuilding community is more, yeah, I would say it's more accepting, way more body positivity. Everyone's welcome. There's few like little niches where it's still the hardcore old school way. Most of it's significantly more open and welcoming. Jiu-jitsu, they like to gatekeep the community. They don't really want new people, well, unless you're good. They don't want new people coming in because they're just kind of assholes about it.
And obviously that varies from gym to gym and place to place. Like when it comes to our gym, there's people who bodybuild because our gym has the lifting gym and the training gym. So we actually have a normal blend of people and everyone gets along. But just like the online community is going back and forth over it is nonstop. You made a good point. You brought this up to me not that long ago about if BJJ people are so against the bodybuilding community and whatnot, why are so many of them taking steroids to compete? So you want to just expand on that?
So all the top level dudes, even low level guys, in bodybuilding and jiu-jitsu, but speaking about jiu-jitsu, they all take a fuck ton of steroids. I mean, Gordon Ryan's like 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, super lean, openly admits to taking steroids. A lot of them get sponsored by TRT clinics. I mean, yeah, it's a non-drug tested sport, but you shit on people that take a ton of steroids as well, but you do it too. It's just hypocritical a little.
It is weird. And yeah, like you said, it's not even just the top guys because I think we see that in MMA a lot. People won't take steroids, then they'll get on the pro level and then they'll start dabbling with it to try to get the maximum performance. But there's dudes who don't plan on competing in jiu-jitsu or don't plan on competing at a high level and they're just loaded and you can tell. It is pretty hypocritical and it kind of defeats the whole notion that they go by that oh muscles don't matter in jiu-jitsu. I know damn well that's a lie because I would say that my jujitsu's like surpassed what yours is, and I still can't do half the shit I want to you when you start smothering me. It doesn't matter. I can lock something up and it still doesn't matter. Do you think that jujitsu should allow steroids in their competition? And then do you think the UFC should, or MMA in general?
Oh yeah, I think steroids are awesome. I think every high level athletic competition should have non tested and tested because people should have a choice. Now, typically, the tested one is going to be the more popular, not in jiu-jitsu's case. But yeah, definitely, I think there should be steroids allowed in everything because it's pretty cool to see what people can really achieve pushing the needle.
People who are in MMA for like the blood sport aspect of it probably don't give a shit if they're loaded. They just want to see two guys go out there and mangle each other. I do think that people should be allowed to use it for injuries and stuff like that, especially if it's something like Conor McGregor is a huge example. Dude, if I snapped my leg like that, I would take whatever I could to heal up as fast as I could. I don't think that's the same as someone who's intentionally taking a steroid to just have some advantage. You know, you're in your 30s, mid to late 30s. You don't have much time fighting left. So I think it's completely justified him wanting to take whatever the hell is going to make him heal the fastest. What do you think about that fight? They just announced that it's going to be at 185. What's your take on the whole thing?
I mean, Michael Chandler, what he's gonna do as he's told.
184. You want to do 185? I'll do 185. You'll do what you're told.
Whatever Dana says is what's gonna happen, and Dana's getting told by Conor what to do. Mike's gonna take that fight wherever they tell him to, at whatever weight, whatever fucking rule set, because he wants the money.
I do think it's kind of funny how long he's had to wait. It's actually kind of unfortunate because the Ultimate Fighter, usually the fight happens relatively close to the end of the season. And I don't even remember when that last episode aired. It seems like we've been waiting for
Months.
literally, yeah, months. And it's not like the fight got announced to be soon. The fight got announced to be in July. So it's going to be 6 more months. And it makes me question if it's even going to happen. It being at 185, Conor's not known for having a gas tank, so I'm not sure if that's going to really play into his skill set very well.
I'm still waiting for him to say April Fools.
Yeah, that'll be a good
real.
one. And just runs off, and Michael Chandler sat around and wasted 2 prime years for no
sorry,
fight.
kids, no money.
No money. And Conor openly taking steroids doesn't really mean much to me because you can't look at Michael Chandler and be like, yeah, totally a clean athlete. He's like, yeah, my doctor told me it's really weird. I got higher testosterone than 99.9% of people. I wonder why, Mike. He's got an absolutely crazy build, and you know he's been training for a fight. Conor, we see him doing fuck all.
No, they're just drinking wine, eating cheese.
Whatever the hell he feels like doing on a given day.
Who's gonna stop them?
Not USADA. You starting in bodybuilding and then going to BJJ. I know you've been retaining your size, like nothing's really fluctuated too much since the transition. What do you think the optimal size is for, let's say, both sports, or for someone of your build in both sports?
Well, yeah, my build, I'm a normal height guy, 5'8", 5'9", sitting at like 220. Relatively large for the height. Not too lean, not too lean, sitting comfortable. I got really good athleticism and mobility, so it's not been a hindrance for me. I can move really well. But I probably won't stay at this weight if I want to compete and be super competitive, ever go to a higher level. Just because of the height thing, I'd drop down probably in the 190s. It'd be a little bit more comfortable. The gas tank would be a lot better. It's not that it's an issue now, but long matches it could be. So yeah, definitely for 5'8", 5'9" guys, 180 to 190 I think would be perfect because you still have a ton of mass on you, ton of lean mass at least, which I already covered. It's pretty useful to have muscles in jiu-jitsu.
Which, yeah, in MMA it's more of a problem because you have to deal with the height and reach difference. Obviously, I know you have really good takedowns, so it's not as much of a problem in jiu-jitsu. But like you said, there's still the height. Like it's a totally different motion grappling some taller people.
Someone that's 6'2", 220 versus 5'9", 220 is a pretty big discrepancy.
Yeah.
In leg reach, arm reach,
And
just
then
everything.
yeah, and the gas tank potentially. I'm not much taller, like a half inch taller than him, but I'm obviously a lot smaller in frame, and I'm walking around about 140 pounds right now, and I compete at 125, like I said. I actually have a title fight coming up March 30th, and that's at 125. So I think for me, obviously, I feel better when I'm bigger, but to keep competing at that weight class and to have my reach advantage and to have these just edges that I feel like help me a lot, because when I'm at range with my kicks and things like that, or even when I'm just fighting shorter people, I'm able to wrap them up on the ground better. I can't really get too much bigger comfortably. I don't like to cut a lot of weight. I don't prefer to do it. I think maybe I can put on 5 more pounds of muscle, be 145. I got skinny legs. It is what it is. I wish they weren't skinny, but I really feel like if I just keep going at it, I'm going to have a tough weight cut. And it's not going to be enjoyable. And then I never want to miss weight. I feel like that would be embarrassing. If I agree to something, I'm going to do it. So until I get used to it, probably not going to change my size too much. That's all we're going to do for today. This is our first episode, so we're going to keep it short, see how it does, make tweaks to it, and progressively every episode just try to make it better in quality.
Little less shit every time,
Yeah.
like at least like 1%.
Social media.
Caveman Dunn on Instagram. That's about all I got.
Mine's Sensational MMA. That goes for all platforms. Keep on the lookout soon. I am going to be starting my business soon. I just got a website, sensationalmma.com. Not saying what I'm dropping on there yet, but promise you're going to want to keep an eye out on it. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you don't already. And if there's a guest that you want me to have on this podcast, please let me know. I'm pretty much open to having any fighters from South Carolina, North Carolina. It doesn't have to be a fighter, but I'd also be willing to have any of the Street Beefs guys on here. If you have a favorite fighter, let me know, and I'll try my best to get them on here. Try to at least do one of these episodes every 2 weeks. But for now, catch you guys later. Peace. I wonder what that sounded like.
Probably not good.